Oh, how's the bits? How's the rate of the bits? Good bits? Bad bits? Hey, what's up? How are you doing? I think I'm just gonna. I'm doing well. I'm doing surprisingly well for how much little sleep I got last night. I'm doing surprisingly well. Um, had to stay up kind of late. So I was thinking, unless if other people wanted to, I would work on I was just gonna work on assembly line a little bit, and and there was a couple things from our meeting. We had our office hours today, so we have those once every 2 weeks. There was a couple things for the to-do list on my side. Actually, a lot of the stuff was on my side. Let me pull those up. We can look over those. Not that. So let's see. Yeah. So I think what I wanted to do is this. I want to at least do this, and then we can talk about some of the other stuff that I have to do. I'm gonna start by actually just updating, um, adding some tickets for these things for myself. Trying to keep it. Well, one thing I am trying to do is also keeping it where if somebody decides that they want to get involved, they can easily get involved. I'm going to hopefully maybe in about a month release a video on what we're doing here, and hopefully that will get it in front of some other people's eyes, and maybe it will make a little bit more sense if I explain it out really well. And then if there's some issues that people can have, it would be nice. So I'm trying to enter stuff in as issues as we go on stuff, so that there's plenty of issues that are sitting there. All right, let's see. I'm not gonna fill this in too much because I'm doing it tonight. So whatever. That's that one. Let's see. And maybe we'll do this a little an actual pipeline and start working on reading it on the server. Unless you want to do something else, always let me know. I'm open for doing whatever. Okay. Let's do this first one. I'm not changed things from. So one thing that was done wrong here is this was created as a config. If you look here, I need to. Hmm. I know of a way to. I don't know how to update this to be exactly what I want. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think I have to do like a lib and equals. Let me. One thing we can do here is just. Uh, and then we'll just do cargo init CLI, and we'll do lib. I think I misspelled cargo. What machine learning do I do? I do a couple. So, right now, I think what I've started using the most is scikit-learn, just because it's kind of the simplest and they have some of the stuff directly out. but for a lot, it's like PyTorch and TensorFlow. If you asked me which one I'd like to run in production the most, it would be MXNet for sure. But for my stuff, which is mostly just local, PyTorch and TensorFlow are great. Good evening, Russell. How are you? Oh, okay. That's right. You can make a lib and a binary, but you also can. I wasn't thinking about this, but if it's just a single one, a lib or a binary, it's just basically what is named in here. Instead of main.rs, it's going to be lib.rs. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, lib.rs. So I think all we have to do here is update this to be lib.rs instead of main.rs. We'll see. I could be wrong. And then we don't need a main. Yeah, okay. This says that worked because it's saying, yeah, we don't need a main. Main is never used. Cool. Yeah, unfortunately, Russell, when you get into it, it's really a lot of one, it's partially personal taste. Like, what microphone do you want? I have a really loud voice, so I actually really like this one because, for the most part, I can speak and not feel like I'm destroying it. Um, Now, I do have a shotgun microphone that I use for recording my videos so that there's not a microphone in it because I feel like that feels more professional. But since it's YouTube, I probably shouldn't worry about whether it feels professional or not. Um, but that's what I do. It's a little bit more sensitive. It's actually a lot nicer. This is a little muddier. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but this one's a little muddier than the shotgun microphone, which is very crisp. But it's also nice because like it's a little deader as well. So it only picks up sound that's close to it. Even if I get far, like this far away from it, you can probably hear that it's cut off some. So you can spend hundreds of hours researching microphones. Oh, I hate Python too. I hate Python too. I'm right there with you. I do not use Rust for machine learning because everybody uses Python and all the libraries support Python, so you better just learn Python. Um, there are ways to avoid using Python. It just gets a lot harder, and I'm not at that level yet. I'm not at that level, so I take the easy ways. I take the easy way. All right. So I think this is done. I'm just gonna C Sharp and C++ C libraries are pretty good. That's how oh really? What libraries do you use? Okay. Accord MathNet. I've never actually used that. It's a .NET machine learning framework. Yeah. Okay, so let's get Chad up here. Let's get Chad up here. Python is fine if you ignore the horrendous library compatibility issues that always happens. Python's fine if you like fail slowly eventually in production. Python's fine if you don't like um, a succinct way to do things. Like, for example, there is 12 ways to format a string, and they all have their own downfalls. And it's fine. I think that's like every statement about Python is. It's fine, but it has a downfall. It's fine as long as you don't care about the performance of the code that you write, which, granted, a lot of machine learning frameworks aren't written in Python. Their wrappers are for Python, so it's fine. It's like I said, it's fine. That's like the entire Python ecosystem. Um, anything you point to, it never shines in anything. It's never the best in anything. It's always, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, base Python is slow. Slow memory. My biggest thing is failing in production. So like I cannot tell you how hard it is to try to keep Python from failing in production. It's basically impossible. Yeah. It is the best at being the most popular in machine learning. There you go. We found out what it's the best at. Oh, okay. Okay. This looks interesting. I've never used it. A chord framework for .NET. I need to get .NET. I'm assuming this works with .NET Core, .NET Core, not a chord. I don't have that on this. I'm on Linux. Julia is cool. Is that a language? I don't. It's dynamically typed. Blah. 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 I cannot tell you how bad dynamic typing is. I cannot tell you how bad dynamic typing is. Like this is I don't care whether it's faster than Rust. I don't care if it's more reproducible than C++. I don't care that it's open source. Almost every language is at this point. This right here completely ruins it for being a production language. I guess if you're talking about for like, I'm going to sit here and run this script, and so I guess I'll know if it failed, it's fine. It's fine. We'll go back to the it's fine. Yeah. That's fine. As an alternative to Python, I guess I would have to learn a new thing though. I suck at Python, but at least I know how to write it. Wait a sec. Oh, okay, they're all free. Whew. I was gonna say. I have to enroll in the course. I'm not doing that. It's fine. The two most popular, as in not dreamed of, are dynamic, aren't they? Wait. Are we talking? I mean, Python. TypeScript isn't dynamically typed, right? I know Perl. Perl. That's fantastic. All right. I know would call if my Perl stops working. I am neither a Perl nor a Lisp person, unfortunately. And obviously, I'm not a JavaScript or a Python fan. I guess technically TypeScript is dynamically typed. It just does everything it can to not let it be. I know. Like technically, TypeScript isn't a language. I know technically TypeScript is JavaScript. It just doesn't let you do the dynamic typing. So like, I'm going to consider that acceptable. I think that's. I mean, it's better than I don't know. I'm gonna say it's not dynamically typed. I'm just gonna go there. I'm probably wrong. I mean, I am technically wrong. I understand that. I am technically wrong. Regardless, Perl is better. Oh, you've just given your age away. You are 80. Um, SQL doesn't have types. I do believe you're doing SQL wrong. I do believe we can all agree on that. If you have, if you got types in it, I don't believe that you're 20 if you are hard going on the Perl or Lisp. Oh, what was I gonna call this branch? What were we doing? Oh, we can change config to what did we do? We changed it to that's a horrible branch name. No. I said SQL. Your Postgres server doesn't have types. It doesn't have objects. I didn't talk about your UDTs or those types of things or how you represent that data in code. I'm not that baited. I read it. Well, I will show you how to spot Lisp. I said Postgres. I understand. We're talking about SQL. A SQL. I see what you're going with this. Yep, I'll show you how to spot Lisp. If you've never written it, I'll show you how to spot it in just a second. Let me make this commit message. I'm about to be baited into a SQL argument. Okay. Actually, I could. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pop out chat. I'm gonna throw you over here. So we'll have chat right here as well. That's exactly what I was gonna do, Russell. All right. here's how you spot Lisp. I'm going to make it nice and big. Oh, I can't do that. Ugh. This annoys me. Can't do what I just did because it will screw this up and I can't get it back right now. All right, we're just going to reset this. All right, here is how you spot Lisp. You see this. You see this. And you have found yourself Lisp. That is also Clojure, yes. That is also Clojure. Okay, I won't do that mistake again. You know what I really like? I really like Haskell. But Haskell has so many problems for actually running in production. It's like a really I honestly think everybody should go out and learn Haskell. Not like fully, not like really well. Just go learn Haskell, bare minimum. You'll learn a thing or two. There's some really cool concepts. Fantastic. And then ditch it. All right. Let's see. I'm not going to close this issue. I am going to make a pull request though for this. All right. Cool. All right, the other thing that I wanted to do, I'm actually going to go ahead and remake the change since it was just a small change. Yep, config, we're going to rename this to lib. I'll have to show you guys my machine learning that I've worked on. I've worked on something to cut up some clips, to hopefully like auto clip stuff. And so right now what it does is like it takes segments of 10 seconds of audio to analyze. Um, it doesn't quite work yet, but I can show you at some point what it does do. So yeah. All right. Wow, that was approved. Cool. All right, so we got that done. We're going to close that issue. I should have linked this issue. That was my bad. I did not do that. I'm going to actually, oh well. My bad. All right, I got this done. Can I cross out? All right, so now what I want to do is I can go ahead and do a git fetch. And I want to start actually reading in YAML files through the server. It should hopefully be an easy review. What was I gonna call the? So this would be server, part of server, and So we'll be reading in the YAML. Get rebase up. Git fetch upstream. There we go. Okay. And we should have the change now. Yep, it's a library. Perfect. Okay, so I guess I need to make not an example, but I need to make an actual simple. I want bare bones simple. So maybe I'll start with that. Bare bones simple YAML file. Where should we do this? We're gonna do this in docs because yeah, I think that's the right place. Let's see. All right, we'll have an example, and we'll have a markdown in here. Let's do that as well. We'll do. So we'll kind of document it as we go. Let me pull up this really quickly. This was kind of our initial idea. So we need to rejigger it some. And by some I mean quite a bit. All right. So we have the name, we have our events here, we have our description, and this is all in the. Oh, I think one thing that we did kind of do here, let's see our pipeline. We did put this in metadata, and our metadata is, has the name, ID, and description because that was reused in a lot of places. So instead of this, it would be like this. I was thinking we don't need we don't need an ID. So like if you name it like this, you could give it an ID, but you don't need to. So ID should be optional. And basically if ID is optional, it should default to name. I think we can talk about that more, but yeah. All right, so this is how we're going to do metadata. Then we have events. So let's look at our pipeline. We have our events with these are pipeline events. I didn't really do these out very well. I don't actually know how this enum is going to serialize. So honestly, this is a question mark. I haven't used Surdy that much to know how. Oh, wait. How a list of pipeline events is going to serialize. So we'll see how that goes. So then we have a list of stations, and should I delete this? Actually, this remote. I think it's the station that should be. I don't know. This is very. I don't know if this should be on the pipeline or on the station. I'm not gonna worry about this right now. And this should be an optional anyways. So I think really we should do. So if ID is optional, why have it at all? Well, I don't know. My thought was you could give this a beautiful to read. This is my very descriptive name. And why did it do that? And you could have ID of step 1, which would make it really easy to. Well, I mean, this is a pipeline, so like it would be make it easy. I don't even know that. I don't know. That was specifically for the stations. So like if you were doing your dependencies, like we did here, dependency on init, your name could be like my really long name, and it wouldn't matter. Um, I guess, yeah, description is where like I was thinking you could do multiple paragraphs if you wanted. It's almost like in a UI when you click on it and go into it, that's where the description. The name is kind of a human legible, but not really machine legible. Like I feel like if we did take this as an ID, like would we leave spaces in it? It seems weird as an identifier. I guess we could. We'd have to be really careful with that. I don't know. I'm just trying to do something. Yeah, I do think I was thinking remote would be on the stations. That's where like you pull in a remote pipeline, but then it's not pipelines, it's stations. Should both be reusable, a full pipeline or a full state? I don't know. I need to think on that. They don't it's not 4 unique identifiers. So the thing is, this is a name and this could be the same name. And that's why ID is important if you want to. You could reuse it. It's not a unique description. Is not a unique. It's just extra metadata that people can put in there with it. It's like a tag, except that it's very specific. It's just this is the description of the step. Wait. Maybe I did. I don't have this here. I get fussy about multiple keys for data. Again, I wasn't saying the ID would be the key. Okay, yeah. The thought was the name was the pretty identifier. ID would just be the name unless if you wanted it to not be. Um and or like again, I don't even know if we want to support spaces in like the ID. Generally I don't like white space characters being in keys. Um but I think it's fine for a name. So I was just thinking of like a dashboard. Like, okay, maybe I need to draw this out. Um, if you had a dashboard and you had like a list of them here. In this, you'd have like the name. And that was maybe it. Maybe you'd have in like small text down here, you'd have like the start of the description. Maybe up here you also have the status of last run, whatever. And then if you clicked on it, it would take you to another over here. And like actually have the graph and all and like the full description, you know, like the long description. I'm not UX designing here, just how it would work in my head. The name. The graph. But yes, getting fussy about keys is generally a good idea, I think. Making sure that your data has good, clean ownership. That you know that you're not accidentally using the name to reference something, like just to validate that our code is never using the name to find an object. Because if these two things are the same, a lot of the time, it would be a nasty bug because that could slip through really easily. Because if you started using the name on something, and most of the time the name was the exact same, that could slip through. So I don't even know that I like this. This was just what I had gone with initially. The space was the only thing that I thought of. Is I feel like this is a bad identifier, but it's nice human legible. Now, one thing that we could do is we could say that the ID is like this. This is a ID. And its name in any UI would be like this. Basically, we would just put spaces wherever the dashes were. I don't know. Because you're right. These seem redundant at best. Would the verifier throw an error if the name had a space and there was no ID? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's a good point. If the name has a space and there's no ID, I think that's a validation error. That seems nasty. Seems like people wouldn't like to use. Hmm. All right. So I'm opening an issue. So I don't have to do more of it today. Um uh, oh yes. Wait. Why does it add? It doesn't add a heart. It's a smiley face. I don't know. Like part of me feels like there's going to be. We could say, okay, it's just going to be name, and that's going to be the identifier. And then there will inevitably be a problem that forces us to use ID. And then if we're like, well, because I could foresee problems, but I don't know of any off the top of my head, we should just use an ID. And then like if the name has a spaces in it, make the ID with dashes, but then the people would be putting the dependencies wrong, which then if I'm dealing with the spaces anyways, why can't I just make name the identifier? What if we just remove all white spaces when we do a name matching? Basically, super trim. From the middle, from the ends, all white space characters removed. That's your name. It has a heart because you love the stress that you put me through live on stream. That's why. Yeah, that's actually. Yeah. Yeah, at first glance it looks fine, but then it becomes quite complex when you dig. That's like every problem in software engineering. Every problem. It's fine. Oh, no, it's not fine, is it? Isn't it? I do want to try, especially for this first iteration. I want to avoid. I'm not gonna say waste too much time, but spend too much time just thinking about all the inevitable possibilities. Yeah, there'll be 50 things that we're like, oh yeah, if we started again, we do this differently. The next time. Um, I do actually want to get some music on stream. I thought about it as like, oh, if I don't have music, then people can listen to whatever music they want while I'm streaming instead of what music I want while streaming. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but that's what I've been doing. Or yeah. Um but yeah. Mandatory ID and name is optional. I kind of like that. You can give it a pretty name if you like, but you don't have to. I actually like this. I like this. Name is optional, and then in the UI, it can replace stashes with spaces if there is no name, just for display purposes. Yeah, no, I think I like it. I'm about to close this. I think maybe this is good. And then that brings us to our code here where, let's see, remote again is dumb. Wait a second. I think we can just get rid of remote altogether. And then we have our stations, and in our station we have, oh, okay, wait a second, in our pipe, this is in our metadata. So in our metadata, it is ID that's the required, and then all of these are optional. Let's see, option. All right. Okay. I think this is good. And you know, I'm just gonna move this. I know technically ordering doesn't matter, but I'm gonna move this up here because it's the one thing that's not optional. Nice one, Russell. That was good. That was a good call. I like that. I I almost feel like submitting the issue and then resolving it. That's what I would do at work. I had the problem and then I fixed it while I was writing the problem. I don't actually do that. I usually just move on at that problem. All right. Sweet. I am trying to take some of these, Russell, and take them from the meeting notes and actually make issues out of them. That way, if somebody does join, there's some that we could like tag with good first issue. I would especially like to do this if I make a video and like put a lot of work in at the end of a month to have a really nice video. I'd like to have some good first issues that are out there that we're not doing specifically so that somebody that wants to join can pick up something easy. Oh, yes, I agree. If the work item is a history of product decision, um, that comment needs updating. Let's see. The idea of the station. No. Oh, yes, you're right. Yes, if it's like product decision, absolutely. So sometimes what I do is like I'll have like a technical thing, and I'll be like writing up like a technical debt or something like that. And then while I'm like doing the research to actually write up the ticket properly, I'll be like, no, I've already figured it out. So like it's done, and then I just document how we're doing it. But yes, if you work for a place that also has a ticket count, that's probably another good way. Although it's a horrible way to judge productivity. Yeah. All right. So we have that. Our metadata is done. That's looking tidy. So then our example. Let's clean this up. All right. We have this is all right. So we have our stations. We have an ID. Station, whatever. I don't actually. We're not supporting this. We're doing one station. One station. This is like the simplest station. We're not worried about that. My first station steps. It will have 2 steps. I'm not going to worry about mounts. I'm not going to worry about any of the other stuff. We'll delete all of this. What do we want to just do engine X for both of these? Maybe we'll do BusyBox for this one. All right. Then we'll do. Oh, this changes though. I don't know that I like this. I like just having like name and image. Obviously, it would need more, but we did change steps to use the metadata. Crap. We would need custom serialization logic to handle this, and I don't want to do that. And I also don't want to do like this metadata object because that seems. It's what we have to do here too, though. This isn't ID here. This is. Can we do where something where this reads ID into metadata with like composition? Oh, this. This is fantastic. Oh, BusyBox. It all works. It all works as long as you pick BusyBox. Perfect. That's a real synergy there. Real synergy. All right. So what I'm thinking here is I would really like this just to be ID. But as it is, as this struct is, it would be a nested thing. But is there a way to inline these? I don't know in Rust. I know that they do this in Go. I don't even know what that's called, so I'm just gonna search something here. 30 30 inline YAML values in parent struct. Struct flattening. That might be what it's called. Struct flattening. Nginx supporting. You're gonna have 2 hard-coded variables. This is what we wanted. This is what we wanted right here. Yeah, and just to me, this just I think makes the YAML a little cleaner. Instead of doing this where like this has to be a metadata and this has to be a metadata, we can get rid of this and it can just be this. Even though we have a struct because that's reusable code and it's really nice, we don't want insanity, and that's what that would be. All right. I think okay, exciting. Exciting. So, let's see how they do it here. They just do surdy flatten. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. So anywhere we do metadata, we'll do surdy flatten. Station, surdy flatten. Oh, not commented. And step. All right, so then our stuff can look like this. This will be ID. I don't have any validation, so this would probably work, but I'm just going to make this like, I'm trying to make this what will be the most valid thing. So ID will be, we'll say this is checkout, and this is build. I know these are ridiculous images for checking out or building, but I don't care. Is this all we need? Is this all we need? I feel like this should be like the minimal, easy. Okay, so let's see pipeline. For pipeline, we have our ID, name, description, events, and stations. Events and stations. Okay, beautiful. And then we have our events, which I don't, again, this is something I'm going to have to figure out how Surdy actually wants this. We might have to comment this out until I figure out how. I think this right here is beautiful. How we do this right here, like using enums for this, but like I don't know how Surdy deals with that. Let's see. Does that mean that Rust Structs versus YAML will look different? Can't just let me have the small victories, can you, Russell? Yes, that's how it is in Go or in Kubernetes. Sorry for carrying. Ouch. Make me feel bad for it. So the reason I like that is this is what it would look like otherwise. We can delete this comment. That's not applicable anymore. This is what it would look like without that. One second, we're not done. I was trying. You are horrible. I don't want you to care less. This is good. This is good. Don't care less. Especially don't care less so you can like rant more later. Don't hold it in. This is what I was trying to avoid with that. To me, this is ugly YAML, and I know that YAML's already ugly enough. Right. I get though where what you're saying is in the code to reference this, you have to know that it's in metadata, and like, yeah, I think the answer is yes. You have to know that it's in metadata. If you look at the Oh, if you look at the KK repo, um, I'm trying. They do this. So, all the things that you describe with like a name and stuff, that's actually in their metadata. I was going to see if I can't jump to it. Um, is it. Wait a second. Why did that not find the word metadata? I feel like that. Sorry, I was just searching to make sure I was spelling metadata correctly. Oh, okay. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, these are the conventions, but okay, so these are all. So, like in here, I believe. Yes, maybe. I thought that they were flattened. I guess I'm very wrong. What was I thinking that was flattened? I know they flattened something. I've seen it. There's literally, I know. I don't know how I didn't find anything called metadata. It's just like, no. I shouldn't need to try the advanced search. I know that they're improving their code search, but this is painful. Okay, let's see. What was it that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether we flatten or not. Let's see. I wonder if we can create a macro that adds elements to the struct that uses the metadata object to store retrieve under the hood. Probably. Probably. I'm not gonna do that tonight. I almost feel like what you're asking is what Flatten does. Basically, what Certi's doing. It's basically a macro that's going to automatically add those things into the struct from the main YAML structure. All right. So I'll leave this as an open thing because I get what you're saying. Like we're basically lying in the YAML, but to me, I'd really like to push for Lua, and so we should make the YAML as clean as possible to read and deal with. Also, most people aren't going to interact with it in the programming world. I guess if they use Lua, unfortunately, this will be metadata.id. Unfortunately. So there will be a Lua disconnect to YAML. We can unflattenize it though. Like this is not a big change. Like it won't affect the internals. So the cool part about this change, if in 3 weeks we decide we don't want it flattened, if in 3 weeks we decide we don't want it flattened, all we do is we remove this. The application, all the code will run the exact same. You'll just break every single manifest file that was created for it. And since we have so few, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm going to tell myself. All right, so we have this YAML, and now we just need to read it in. Now, I think I imported serde YAML. I think what I was going to do is add the reading a YAML file into the library. I think that's what makes sense. So you're just using the library, you give it a file path, it reads it, and we're good to go. So serde, we do need serde YAML. Serde YAML, I think it is. Let's see. Does anybody know? I'm going to guess that it has a 1.0. No. No, it doesn't. I wish this extension gave me a hint before, like, it obviously knows. There we go. Fixed it. Right, we're not Microsoft. We're not doing backwards capabilities, but all I was trying to express is like, other than the YAML, it doesn't affect our application at all. So anything that uses this, it doesn't change if we remove this. Like that is the nice thing, is it's not a breaking for any code. It will be really easy to change. It just requires updating YAML. It wouldn't even affect Lua. Interestingly enough, it wouldn't affect Lua because, again, we're kind of lying as to what the format of YAML is. All right, so we have our serde YAML. So let's go here. We're just gonna make a pub fun. Read config. Then should we just take a string for a path? I'm not sure quite yet, right, what we're going to do. And this is going to return a pipeline. Did we make pipelines? We need to do mod pipelines. In our pipeline, oh, we're going to return a pipeline. Okay, that's it should parse a pipeline. So let's go back here, and this is going to return a result of pipeline. Or this needs to be a, I always forget this, it's a dynamic box error. I'll go look at Russell's code. I know that he had some. This right here. I wish very much that Rust had a very simple error type that you could put there that meant this. I know what this means. I just wish that there was a very simple, like, oh, just do this. All right. Wait. I am in the module pipeline. Oh, wait. Pipelines. Oh, wait. Did I do this? Let's see. I have pipelines here. So that should be the right one. And then in the mod.rs, I have, oh, pipeline. Okay. I got it. Pipelines. Pipeline. Pipeline. There we go. I'm not sure I like this. This is gross, actually. So I said I'm not sure I like this. I meant that I actually don't like this. So let's do a refactor. We only like the YAML herders. Nice. Oh, it's a good perspective. Okay, so I like this. So I don't like this, so let's fix this. First, we're going to rename this to pipeline. Yes, make refactor. Pipeline. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to move this pipeline to the mod.rs. Done. And then we're going to delete pipeline. Move that to trash. It's garbage. All right. I think I made stuff angry, but I think I made stuff better. All right. So this is angry unresolved module step config. Why is it unresolved? You'll get over yourself. 1 second. All right, this is upset because we don't have this redundancy anymore. Pipeline. Done. Beautiful. That looks so much better. All right, now did you get over yourself? No, you did not. All right, what have we screwed up? What have we screwed up here? First, this should go at the top. Done. Second, use super. Let's see. Why do... Oh, well, we can't use public mod pipeline because pipeline doesn't exist anymore. Done. That fixed that one. Pub mod events does exist. Why are you upset? Why are you upset? Oh, wait. You're not upset anymore. Do I just have to go to step config now? Does this fix it? It did. Ah, these transient errors. They're the worst. I really don't like water from plastic bottles, but there was a massive chemical spill. The train derailed near me. And we don't trust the water anymore. So, plastic bottles it is. Thankfully, nobody was hurt in the train derailment, but there was like a bunch of toxic chemicals. So, there's that. Like a bunch. Like, so bad they decided to burn the train because they were worried that it would explode and flatten the city that was near it. How long until the water is flushed? We're hopefully in a couple of days. It depends on like rainwater and like how much rain and whatnot. We're pretty far away from it. The problem with us is we're actually, so this happened like 5 days ago, but we're downriver, so it's on the Ohio River. So I said nearby. I wasn't explaining the whole geography here, but 1 second, just so I make sure I don't accidentally show too much. Uh, so there's this big river called the Ohio River. That is a very large river in the U.S. It flows into the Mississippi. So the Mississippi is this. I think the Mississippi is pretty famous. It's this big one that goes all the way from Canada down to the ocean. Anyways, the Ohio River is another really big river, and it outlines Ohio. So this happened like here. It happened in eastern Kentucky over here, but it happened right by the Ohio River. But it was bad enough that like Cincinnati had to shut down the intakes from the Ohio River to the reservoirs. And I'm just a little bit further down from that. So when Cincinnati was doing that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get bottled water. Now Cincinnati hasn't opened back up. They're waiting for another rain to help flush everything through. Um, yeah, that's I mean, my city is fairly easy to find. I made sure that there was no pin marks. That's why I opened it first. The little heart icon there is actually way off from where I live, so that's good. I don't even know what that is. Like, I've never been to where that thing was. So yeah. All right. Why does it not find station? Do I just have to open each one of these files again? It got very upset with my copy and paste. These I just opened the files. Oh, this is just complaining because I didn't actually return anything yet. Okay, so that's fine. Why are these erroring? Oh, cannot find metadata. It's right here. You fool. It's public. What am I missing here? Yeah, I was gonna say like I to a certain extent, if you're looking for me, you can find the city that I'm in. I like and you can probably get a lot closer if you try. And there's probably just nothing I'm going to do past that. So like, I don't have a public number, so that's actually good. So I'm actually probably a little bit harder because I don't have a public phone number. That actually probably makes me a bit harder. But even then, there's records out there. I'm confused as to why it's upset here. I understand why this is. I'm not returning an error. Maybe I can just return. That fixes that error, but I don't know. I can just return a new pipeline in here, but like I don't know why this is. Oh, wait. I know why. I know why. I wasn't thinking about this. This was copy and paste. Actually, I don't think we have Copilot on. It doesn't feel like. Yeah, it doesn't feel like. I was recording educational videos the other night. So didn't feel like it. Use. Why is it? No, thank you. That's what I used up here. Station. I'm an idiot. So what this was this used to be in a submodule. So you were using the parent module, the pipeline module, to then access the other ones. Whereas this is now in the parent module. Oh, shoot. Russell's right. It is the super. Yep, 100%. Because I copied it. This is why you don't copy and paste. This is why you don't copy. Okay, so back to actual Rust, because this is so much better. We're just going to delete this. I was just wanting to make sure that wasn't, oh, wow. Did they, okay, this is not, is this correct? Wait. So we're going to open the path. We're going to take the reader. I'm just going to try this. So let's go into the server. Now in the server, we need to actually mark it as a dependency. I don't actually think the server needs Serde or YAML, right? Because it's just getting a pipeline. So I believe these can just be deleted. I'm not going to do that right now. Oh, shoot. This is all broken. I'm gonna do that for right now. I'm not gonna make an. I guess the SQLite database does work right now, but oh, just do a test. So the problem with tests right here in the lib. So we could do tests right here, but then it's where the file sits. And so I think because we're going to have to let me think about it really quickly. I believe these run relative to the main lib here. So we're going to have a file. I guess we could do a file in memory. Like we could just copy and paste this example. But I was wanting to actually take the docs, this file. This is my dummy pipeline. That's why I created this pipeline. This is the dummy pipeline. This is that. How do we want to write a test for this? I think that the actual right thing to do here is to just read in the file. Not sure how you pull that. That's what I'm thinking. Like, what's the easiest way to actually do this without doing something wonky. So I could pull in the crate, the docs crate. Actually, that's not even a doc. That's not even a crate. It's just a directory. So I think I could, right? It's gonna be a weird path. I think you're right. Let me just try it. Let me just try it instead of just sitting here thinking. We'll just do this. So let's do CFG. Yeah. Test. Yep. Pretty good. Not quite, but we're going to update this. So we need to do one directory down. Let's see. If it runs here, we need to go one directory down. So we'll do one directory down. And then we need to go to docs. Then we need to go to pipelines. That's a pipline. We need a pipeline. Pipelines. And example.yaml. And then, I mean, really the assert will be that it actually works. Okay, I screwed this up here. Okay, did I write this? I didn't write this, did I? That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That is just, I forgot the square brackets. And then, yeah, so. Wait. Oh, wait. I also, no, it's CFG. Wait. Oh, I put it as a macro. Yeah, okay. That was really embarrassing. That was horrifying. All right. Yeah, name is an optional, not a problem. You know, I just wanted to assert that this didn't fail. But we'll find its name, and we'll just do like dot unwrap. No problem. I think unwrap is completely acceptable to use in a test because if it fails, that's part of the test. Oh, yeah. I had the exclamation point in there. The Copilot was generating this, so like I don't know why it generated this wrong. I thought that this would be the thing that it would get, but it's not the thing that it got. So the name of wait, what were we checking? What was the test here? The pipeline name. The pipeline name would be this is a very descriptive name. So let's go back here. All right. Let's run this test. All right. It could not compile it. Woo! This 28 errors. Ah, that's perfect. That's perfect. That excites me. Cannot find 30. What? Oh. I don't. Let's make sure we imported it. Well, that went red all of a sudden. Okay, so we're missing an import for this. That's fine. I'm not sure why this is having a problem. It's here. Let's check our cargo here. We have Surdy as a dependency. It's upset about the serialize and deserialize. All right, cannot find driven. Okay. I think I know what's wrong. The macros here. How we set this up. Let's use Surdy. Sure, Surdy Jason. Don't care. I think maybe I didn't import the macros. Let's see. I feel like you don't have to do the macros since the 2018 version. But that's kind of what it seems to be complaining about here. Okay, yeah, so I've been doing this right. Do I need to... Okay, this was the other thing. Is it like behind a feature? That was what I was worried about. Let's see. Surdy. Use Surdy. Where's your quick start? What did I do wrong? Oh, I do need to read this. Weeby Wizard. Hey, it's great to see you on. All right. I'm going back. So question. What do I think about Copilot? Well, yeah, you know what? Let's talk about that. I think that's a great question. Another great question is, how you doing tonight? I think if you're talking about now, for one, I'm going to release a video on it because I've been testing out a bunch of them. So, there's that. I will release a video. I would really appreciate it if you watched it because I do work really hard on making those videos and, I get some views. So I would really appreciate love your feedback on it. Hopefully, I actually have all of the stuff I need to do. I just need to actually compile the video and run some tests that allow you to kind of analytically compare the 3 or 4 that I compared. That being said, my overall thoughts are if you're a company and it costs like $10 to $15 a month, it's worth $10 to $15 a month to get for your engineers. I wholeheartedly would get behind that. I think it's great for that. It has its problems. As you'll see through this, you need to know what's right to actually leverage it. Because the problem is it does sneaky things that aren't 100% right. And sometimes it looks really close to right and is actually really wrong. So I think it's really important that, I would almost say new people to software engineering shouldn't use it. Like your junior engineers probably shouldn't use it because it's going to get them in more trouble than it actually solves for them. For me, it makes me write $10 a month much faster. Like I probably do, 25% more code when writing code. So I think it's an easy sell at that point. I do believe that ChatGPT. Yeah, yeah, it is nice. It really is nice, and I do think that it's a nice productivity tool. Is it going to take your job? No. It's like a really awesome copy and paste engine. Instead of needing to go to Stack Overflow to copy and paste, it does it for you. And I would tell you the same thing about Stack Overflow code. Really, a junior engineer shouldn't copy and paste code from Stack Overflow. I think it's fine if you know what you're doing to use code off of Stack Overflow. And the same, I think, 100% holds true to Copilot. 100%, like, that's just, um, yeah, that just, it really is useful though. I write faster. It does big blocks, and then I just go back and change the two things that need to be changed or fixed. Like with this thing, it made most of it. It did put an exclamation point here instead of no exclamation point, and it forgot the square brackets. But it generated everything else, which is pretty nice. And it left the unwrap off, and it missed the name. Again, not a big deal. And for a person that knows Rust well enough, this is no problem. Or software engineering is in general. Dude, I would love a little bit of a sassy a co-pilot. I think it's great to have the well, if you had only done what I had said to do, this code would already be compiling. Oh, oh, well, thank you very much. All right, so let's see. Fourth menu option from the top when you get back to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Using derive. Oh, wow. That is actually exactly what I wanted to do. Oh my gosh. I told you it was a feature. Did I not say this? I was calling it out. I just didn't know what the feature was. I knew it was a feature. I don't know if I love or hate features. I don't know if I love or hate them. Test failed. But it did compile. It did compile. So that's a win in my book. A win in my book. Failed. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring this over to here. Whoa, that's taking up way too much. Features definitely seem like they're a benefit for some. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Um oh boy. Oh boy. So panicked at I don't think let's see. I actually think that the test is reading in the right thing. Oh, I also had to update the path. But I think this is right. Um this is not going to be fun to read though. Let's see what it's saying. Oh, result.unwrap. Okay, so we called unwrap here. It's panicking. So this this little thing right here returned an error and it panicked on the unwrap. So you know what we really need to do is we really need to do some good old debugging here and just let's do a No. We'll do an else. Oh, but we don't get the error with this here, so let's fix that. Let's fix that. Let's just do a match. That'll be the cleanest way to do this. Match read config. And then what we'll do is okay. P. We'll just print it out like a good citizen, and then you know, we can do our assert as well. Sure. You know, while we're at it, let's make this a real test. We're not just debugging here. All right, and then we'll do a nice error state here. E. And that should be beautiful. And we don't need an assert here. Done. All right. Let's run this. Maybe this will give us a little bit more. Failed on an unwrap again. Oh. This is good. This is good. I shouldn't get so excited about an error, but this is not bad. I mean, it's bad. The code's not good. But so the error is on event invalid type map expected a YAML tag starting with exclamation point. Okay, so I think what this is saying is when it was, if we go through here and look at pipeline. Oh, it's in mod now. I was looking for the file pipeline, but we removed it. Okay, so if we looked at this, these are all required, and we have stations and pipeline events in our example, right? I don't know that these are right. So what I want to do for this, for the time being, is we're going to remove the pipeline events. I don't know that that's actually correct. We'll just make this a comment. Everybody will be happy. Okay. And now let's try to run that test again. All right. Stations.steps at 0 missing field run. Okay, so this is good. So we have step, and these are all required. They're not optional. And that's why you get this result unwrap, is because it's trying to unwrap the result. So if you're ever debugging this is... Sometimes people think that the Rust compiler is really cranky, but it really does try to tell you what's exactly wrong. And the fact is, this should be optional. You know, in fact, most things should be optional. When I say the word optional, I spell optional. I have no choice but to do that. It's, you know, I believe it's illegal in the United States to spell option while saying optional. At least in most of the states. All right, let's see. Stations.0 missing field dependencies. Oops. You don't need dependencies. I thought that a list of 0 would be fine, though, but I guess it has to be here. Now, this looks gross to me. I don't want to do this, but maybe Rust will force me. Maybe Rust will force me, but is there a better way than this? Because I feel like... So the thing is, it wasn't there. It wasn't an empty list. It was just not there at all. But this feels gross. I'm not sure that... I'm going to try this and see if this works, but I'm not sure. I'd like to figure something better out. And we passed. Not only did it serialize in, it also was the one we wanted. Let's test this out by just deleting this. I always like to make sure that it's not just passing. Okay, cool. Cool. This feels really gross. Where was that? It was in station, right? Yeah. This feels gross. Okay, I said that enough times now. Let's go to the documentation. Can we maybe customize it? Wait. Maybe it's a default value for a field. Yeah, is there a certain attribute that could be used? That's what I'm looking at like right now. Maybe there's like a default value, like it's just empty. Um, Suppose we have an array of integers. We want to figure out the maximum value without holding the whole array in memory at once. This approach being, this is not what I wanted. Default value for a field. Can this be used on a array though? Doesn't look like it. I'm just gonna try to throw this on there. Let me try this. I'm not sure that this will work, but we're gonna try it. That worked. That worked. Okay, I like that. That's fine. So we can just call Surdy default on it instead of optional. I think that this is fine for this because it's going to create an empty array. And like that's fine. So you'll say if there's any dependencies and you'll be checking the thing. It's fine. I think you could probably say that an optimization is that there's I don't think an optional. It is optional. There's either nothing in the list or there's things in the list. It's already optional. The struct itself isn't going to be optional. You're always going to have a vect. Oh, can I do that to the one that I commented out? Which one was that? Sorry. Oh, this one. The events. So the events are, I don't think that I'm reading them incorrectly. I think that I'm reading them incorrectly is the bigger deal here. because I don't know with events. Events were what I was doing with these enums, and I just don't honestly know how they come in, or go out. I'm playing with fire here, live on stream. That's what I do. I don't know how this works actually. So I think that there was like let's see. I believe that there was something here with enum representations. Okay. So it looks kind of like this. Okay, okay. I want externally tagged, not internally tagged. Oh wait, adjacently tagged. Oh no. Oh, maybe untagged actually is what I want. Do I want this? I either want it externally tagged. No, I want it externally tagged. Okay. I want it externally tagged. Oh. Default it, deserialize, and then event, and then serialize it. Oh. That is an option. All right, but that's actually maybe the best option to figure out how to actually write this in YAML. Actually, this is going to look like on, and then action ID. Now, this is one thing that's interesting. All of these things were single words, so they mapped really well. Image, ID, events, description. This, 1 second, event, doesn't. I hope that it capitalizes it. Does action capital ID. That's what I'm hoping. All right, so let's deserialize then. Oh wait, we need to default this. What was that? It was on station, default. I mean, I can't default it. I'll actually have to build it. I don't think defaulting this even helps. I need to actually create a pipeline event. And then we just have to write it out to data, or we can just step through it and see it in memory. No, that's not going to help. We'll have to write it out to a file. So let's make another test. Let's see what it says for read test fail. I do like, so this is one thing that I've noticed about GitHub Actions, and that it does fairly well, and I would say probably has one of the key advantages. It very quickly is like, oh, this is what you did here with this okay, let okay from it. And it's like, well, we'll do that here too. Which I really like because that's obviously what I wanted. And it guessed I had example YAML here and example YAML 2, which will fail because that file doesn't exist. So this should be good. Wait, on okay it panics. This is what I say. It's so good at making something that seems right and is just wrong. Your tests shouldn't. This should fail. A panic in a test. Yeah, one panicked. Wait. Oh wait, that counts as an okay? I don't even understand how this panicked because this should have returned an error. This is wrong. This is very, very wrong. This read config should return an error because this file doesn't exist. This never runs, so it shouldn't panic. It should hit this. And if this did work, it would still panic, and it shouldn't work. And this is why it's working, and it's saying it's running. Okay, I understand what's happening here. It's working because we don't do an assert. There is no assert in this entire thing. They're using the panic as the assert. I still think that this is wrong. But yeah, it also works. It's also wrong. Very wrong. Don't do this as a test. Fairly positive. All right, let's run the actual test where we write a file. Okay, we don't have write a file. Let's actually write that function first. That's one of the worst tests I've seen. All right, so we take a config, we take a path, a pipeline. This is going to return a result. Fine, let the file writer, sturdy to writer, looks fine. And it doesn't return anything. Yeah, I mean, like, so technically, this is working because on success, it panics. But it really should be asserting. You shouldn't use panics in your code. And then on error, it's just falling through. It's not asserting. It's not checking anything. This is not how I would write a test because it's confusing. I didn't even think it should work. And the worst part is in your log, it prints an error. So I know that we're testing the error case, but you shouldn't print an error in it. So like, this is where I say Copilot is great, but you can't just use it blatantly. It might even work, but this is unmaintainable code. Unmaintainable. And I'm leaving it. Hopefully somebody else joins the project to clean up after me. Don't do this at home, kids. All right, so we have a write test. Let's do a let's do another test. Test write config, beautiful. Let pipeline read config. We can't read config because this will fail because we've uncommented the code. If you think about how it's been trained, you realize how many tests in the wild are written that way. I mean, am I wrong? Like, to me, that test is horrifying. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the weirdo. I don't know. To me, that is not a test I would push through a pull request. I'm going to try. I'm going to see if Russell is paying attention when I push this through a pull request. So we have the right config. What we need to do is we need to just create a pipeline here. Well, sweet. At least there's two of us that don't think that panic should be part of a unit test. We're both old-fashioned. We don't panic in unit tests. Oh, what has the world come to? All right, so instead of this here, we're going to just let's grab all of this. We're just going to create a we just want a pipeline. There we go. For our events, we are going to that kind of failed. I wanted a vec. And we're looking for, what are we looking for? Our pipe, or our, what is it? Our pipeline events, which we'll just do on, which, yeah, on. We'll need to import this as well, I think. Us old-fashioned geezers. Just let's see. What was I event? Pipeline event. Okay, yeah. I mean, yes, but you're asserting something. I guess, like, I don't know. Panic seems weird to me. Maybe it's fine. Still don't print the error. Like, don't say there was an error. I know that you're expecting it to fail. I don't know. This test seems weird to me. Let me think about it. I still wouldn't call panic. You call assert. I know that in, like, production code, assert fails, but in... I don't know. Also, it's a bad test because we just read a file that doesn't exist. It's not even a real file, but... oh, okay, we're doing on. Okay. Where was I doing that? I was doing that down here. And that was just a string. Oh, wait. No, wait. Did I? It's not just a string. On is not just a string. It's an on action that has an action ID. Oh, man. Maybe I made this really, really dumb. I got too fancy. No. That's not what I wanted. Wait. I wanted this on action. What am I doing here? One, this is nesting a little too much. Let me just do let action equals. It's just repeating the bad crap that I had. So this is the there's a cert equals and cert unequals as well. Just use panic from now on. Assert is completely useless at this point, I guess. I need to think about this. I don't know that I can live think about this. It feels wrong to me. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can say right now. This feels wrong. You can use the should panic. Yes. But this shouldn't panic, so I don't know. Maybe it's fine. I agree, Russell. That should panic tests that the code panics, not that the unit test is panicking. Yes, I don't know. This is getting too complicated. Too complicated for a late night. Um, I will have to sleep on it. I still think that this is gross. It wasn't evidently clear to me when I read it what was happening until I had to cipher through why this would fail and this one wouldn't. Maybe it's fine. And maybe testing a failure is kind of an edge case where it looks a little gross and you don't have a nice assert. So I'm going to have to think about this one because I got to think about how I would write this better as a better test. Obviously, sans an actual file to read, which not anybody's fault. It just doesn't exist. I know that I only put the match in there to debug the tests, which is the funny thing. The other one would be much simpler, except I needed to debug. Yeah. Okay, so we need an on action here. We need a new on action struct. So let's do let on action. That looks right. This is probably not imported. Can we import it, please? There we go. Thank you. And then our on action can be used in here. And then this. Better ways to do this. It was just because my font's big, I couldn't do it all in line. It was getting headache inducing. This will be here. Not like that, like that. Thank you. Why is that? Expected struct on action. Found enum pipeline. What? This is a vector of pipeline events. Action is this is I'm double nested. Double nested. All right, there we go. Expect a semicolon, of course. I'm sorry. Now we just have to do the stations. All right, Russell, thanks for joining. It was fun. Thanks for staying up so late as you did. I'm gonna try to get this into a PR. It probably won't be a PR until tomorrow sometime because I'm not gonna do the finishing touches. I just want to I want to see what this looks like, and then yeah, that's about it. Should have been an assert on the call and then an assert on the result. I think you're right. All right. Yeah, it's getting late for me too. All right. So we do need to make station. Can we just do that? What is this? Station. We need to import this. Quick fix. Please import it for me. Thank you. Now fill it in. We'll just create the station back here. Let's station equal station. There we go. Then just slide this right in here. Let's see. Default. What is metadata? That's super weird. This default is what it tried to do. Not sure that's the right thing. I'm not sure. Let's do just, oh, you know what? It probably did that because it doesn't have metadata as a import. That is one thing I've noticed sometimes it does. It likes to do is if it doesn't have it, if it doesn't have it imported, sometimes it tries to do stuff to like not use it. Seems like too much work. I didn't want to build everything out. Wait. Let's see. Let's just not. But the thing is, I won't see the YAML if I don't. If I don't build it all out. I was thinking we could just put like a derive for default, but that would just give us garbage YAML. So I don't think I can do that. I think I actually need to just build it out. Wow, that was. All right, so we got two. This will be our pipeline, our metadata for our station. Very fancy. And this will be our metadata for our pipeline, which will be right here. Very nice. Is that it? Oh no. Oh no. We got more default action. What is this? Description. Why did it name there? The only thing that it had left was ID. What was this? Okay. Why did it do this? Why? Ugh. These are the things that I just don't know. All right. There we go. Definitely probably going to work. 100%. Let's run this one. I did not want an exclamation point. Why did it do that? I'm assuming this is something I did. For sure. So there's two problems with this. One was this, the action ID underscore. That's what I was worried about. There's got to be a way to make this prettier. And then the other problem is this is gross looking. This is gross looking. I would like it to look maybe something like this. So how do I massage this? I think what we'll do, what we'll try here, is so like this was my attempt to make like different things. So you could have on, pull request, on merge, on these actions. Then you could have like on webhook, or you have on manual where you click a button. That was the idea, but I don't know that this is working exactly how I wanted, because forget the exclamation point. I don't want this. I want something like, actually, do we flatten this? I want it to be events and then this. Instead, this is events and then on. It shouldn't be on. This should be, what should it be? What should it be? What should the event be? I guess on. It's on something. But I guess then I was thinking it should be like on. On action. No. What? Because it could be push. Yeah, this could be. I'm gonna have to sleep on this one. I don't know what this should look like, because there's a couple ways you could do this. You could do like repo event, and that could have, a list, and one of those could be push. Um, is this what we need to do? This might be what we need to do. I'm gonna think about it. Let me know if you all think of something that would be good here. I'm also going to think, so Weeby Wizard, I think this is a good challenge. I think, inherently, I want to say, like, this is not the way to write a test, but you also bring up, like, super valid points of, like, how does a test fail? Is it just panicking? And, like, if we change this here to a nothing, this should panic and fail, right? Yeah. Oh, it's actually failing because we commented out or uncommented events. So now it passes. Or so now it fails. There we go. Wait. We're we're right, because we actually have code that builds this. Do. Oh, that's beautiful. That's how code's supposed to be written. Yeah, so yeah. I don't like the output of this. I think this is going to be my biggest thing here, is having this panic. isn't the same as an assert. Although the assert does effectively do the same thing as a panic, it's not your test actually panicking. And you could do should panic, but this one shouldn't panic. So, like, you don't want to put should panic here. So I think it, like, don't get me wrong, this is like an excellent thought exercise when it comes to it, and I like these, but I still don't think like this is how you should write the test, mostly because of that. Mostly because of how it writes the test out. It's a little bit of a confusing test. Yeah, I'd have to think more on it, and I will think more on it. I just, yeah, it's what, 11 o'clock? I can't have those deep of conversations at 11. I did a decent amount tonight. Did a decent amount. Yes, I could type all this, but Git will tell me what to type anyways. I just do that. All right. Well, I am going to get off for tonight. It was fun. This was probably one of the longest streams I've done at night. Usually I don't feel like coding this long into the night. And I will see you all hopefully Thursday. Thanks for joining.